It's Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher. And recently I made a video titled, Most People Are Full of Shit. And that video was inspired by my vast experience with people who just seem to be incapable of saying what they mean, meaning what they say, and doing what they say. And simply, it was just my experience, like all these videos are. It's my perspective, and I'm just sharing a perspective. And those who watch, many of you, my perspective is going to resonate with you, and then there's going to be many people who it doesn't resonate with. And there was a comment on this video that got my attention, and unfortunately, whoever put this comment up, they deleted the comment pretty soon, but I was able to see it. And it said something like, people are not full of shit. Stop being negative. And I laughed when I saw it, because in the New Age community, there's this narcissistic idea that you should be positive and happy all the time. Whenever you feel a negative emotion, it's not valid. You're lowering your vibration, and you have to bring your vibration back up. And again, the person who put that comment up, it was like some generic avatar, and the name was something like Bliss Light Soul. Just, you couldn't write this kind of thing as far as like the stereotype. And again, I've criticized New Age spirituality in the past, and I will continue to do so for this very reason. Our emotions, our full spectrum of our emotions, are part of our human experience. And all of our emotions have value, our negative emotions and our positive emotions. Life here on earth is not about being happy all the time. At least that's my perspective. I believe it's about having this experience. And again, part of this experience is going to be having negative states, negative feelings, and positive feelings as well. And I simply look at my negative feelings. Whenever I see a reoccurring pattern that pulls negativity out of me, I look at that as a compass for my soul. Like, this is a compass. There's something about the circumstances that are eliciting this negative feeling in me that is creating a dissonance and a disharmony in me. And I look at it as my work to work within myself to move in a place in my life where I feel more congruent in my emotions. And when I'm, again, when I deal with people who are not good with their word, people who are full of shit, who delude themselves and delude others because they're more content to live a social mask or live by society's expectations instead of being truly real with what they are and what they feel and show up in a congruent way, I find those people draining, and I really try to minimize my engagement, at least in my inner circle, with people like that. And I absolutely criticize society for rewarding this type of behavior. But again, this is just information, and this is my belief. This is just from my life experience, my examined life experience. Me, a human being who has taken in information and has weighed whatever my feelings, my experiences, and the perspectives of others with what my soul is being called to do. That's what you're getting when I share a perspective. And again, it's okay. I don't mind someone criticizing me. I don't mind someone disagreeing with me. It's just this, what you get, like what I found a lot with this New Age community, or with any other kind of religion, is whenever you're expressing a belief that challenges their beliefs, they say, no, you can't think that. No, you can't feel that. And that's very much what the tone of that comment was, no, you're wrong. people aren't negative, you're just, or people aren't full of shit, you're just being negative. And again, all that is, it's not, that comes from a deep insecurity from someone who truly has not examined their own belief. They're just taking on a cliche that's been spoon-fed to them that feels nice and warm and comfortable, and they're regurgitating it, and they're judging someone else and trying to diminish that other person's experience. And again, I can't count the numbers of relationships. This has been a theme of my soul. I was in a relationship with a partner who would not let me have a bad day. If I had a bad day, or if I was in a challenging life situation where just much of my day-to-day interactions at that time, where I didn't have any options available, I wasn't aware of options to move me into a better place, I was feeling drained and frustrated and angry. I was in a negative space, and I needed to vent. And this person said, just wouldn't let me vent. She said, "Stop being negative. You're making it worse. Everybody has problems. Everybody feels this way. You're not special." And again, this is very narcissistic language. This is gaslighting, where you're being diminished, where your experience is being diminished, and someone says, "You're not special. You can't feel what you're feeling. Stop bringing me down." And again, in this particular situation, this was my partner. This was someone who I was in an intimate relationship with. And instead of being a place of support, someone who could hold space for me, they were constantly criticizing me, constantly tearing me down when I was already struggling with many battles in my work life, and knew where I needed to go, but just the road was not clear yet. And I was figuring that out. And I want to make that clear to you. Whenever so much of the self-help New Age community oversimplifies life, they oversimplify the challenges of life and just say, just choose something different, and automatically it happens. I want to say to you that it doesn't work that way. You can choose something different, but it might be very slow to when your opportunity opens up. If you could just choose something immediately and shift something, holy shit, there was a wasp about to land on me, about to sting me just there. Thankfully he did not. But if you could just choose something and snap your fingers and make something disappear, just like Disney movies make it happen, then more people would just be living this life of pleasure, where they'd just be experiencing pleasure and bliss all the time. And if that was true, you'd see that. But clearly, that's not the way life is. When you make a choice, it's a resolve, but sometimes you still have to go through some shit. You have to go through the mud before you can find that clear path and your way out to where you need to be. You get challenged in life, and we are called to rise to these challenges. We're always asked, how bad do you want it? How much does it mean? And if it really doesn't mean that much, then a lot of times we'll give up on that resolve and settle. But once again, I am diverging. This video was about the narcissistic New Age propaganda of that you need to be positive and happy all the time, and just that is a narcissistic mentality. That's essentially narcissistic abuse. That's invalidating your emotions. It's invalidating your experience when you have negative emotions. And I'm not saying you need to be negative. You don't need to dwell. You don't need to be like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, where you're always down or always angry for that matter. But just what I find are negative emotions are useful because they direct us. They let us know when we're off balance. They let us know when something is wrong and we need to make a change. And that change, sometimes it can be quick, but a lot of times it's very slow. That being said, be well, my friends, and I will see you on the other side.